Some superstars are loud.
What is he doing?
Others just go about their business. Michael Gaffey is the most unassuming four-time bracelet winner you'll find. A no-limit hold'em savant without a shred of ego. Tonight, in the face of four-player obstacles, he tries to do what only one other player in the world has ever done. Win 5 no-limit hold'em bracelets. Hello and welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada, the site of the 52nd Annual World Series of Poker. We are inside the Rio All-Suite Hotel and Casino in the Amazon room for event number 13. The $3,000 No Limit Hold'em is on tap for today. I'm David Tuckman, joined by my good friend, comedian, poker player, Clayton Fletcher. 5 players remain. Headlining the 5 is Michael Gaffey from Belgium, wearing the shiny shirt. He is our chip leader. He's a 4-time bracelet winner and one of only 2 players to have won 4 no-limit hold'em bracelets in the decade from 2011 to 2020. There is our short stack, Harvey Matthews, 38 years old, from Mount Morris, Michigan. Gabriel Andrade lives in Houston, Texas, but originally from Ecuador, 43 years old. Poker pro, civil engineer, a hypnotherapist. Girish Apte from Gilroy, California. Gilroy, the home of garlic. 61 years old, originally from Mumbai, India. Brandon Caputo, Port Orange, Florida, 33-year-old. Has 2 kids, 9-month-old and a 2.5-year-old. Kids are expensive. He could use first place. And let's take a look at a leaderboard and see how these players match up. Michael Gaffey, as I mentioned, our chip leader with $8 million. Andrade, Girish are right behind him. And then bringing up the rear, Harvey Matthews at $1.84 million. With Matthews being so short, Clayton, how does that affect the dynamic of this table in the beginning?
Well, right off the bat, you've got one player who's on the short stack trying to figure out how he's going to get back into contention for this bracelet, and the other players may or may not decide to kind of wait around and sort of bide their time until he busts so that they can climb that all-important pay ladder. 5th place pays about $87,000, but if you can just survive for one more bust out, you'll take home a guaranteed minimum of $119,000. So it's a pretty big difference, and it might affect some players' strategy at this point.
Gaffey is going to raise right out of the gate with the suited connector. Caputo
no, that's your
picks
table.
up
This is
a
my
big
table.
hand, pocket kings.
Yeah, well, the table was there, so it can be yours.
Caputo's kids, 9-month-old Annalise, 2.5-year-old Madeline.
Wonder if they're staying up late tonight watching Daddy play poker?
No doubt. I mean, Madeline, it's a big day for Madeline. She achieved a milestone today.
I'm dying to know what this milestone is.
It's the kind of milestone that 2.5-year-olds might achieve.
Gonna guess potty training.
I didn't say it.
Okay. Bad timing for an open here with 9-8 suited, running into the kings of Caputo.
Yeah, 3-bet up to 900,000. Caputo started this hand with 27 big blinds. Thought I might just see an open shove from him. Not an open shove, a 3-bet shove.
How about another pair of kings here?
Oh, wow.
That's not a mistake on your board. Girish Apte.
Yeah, there are 4 kings in every deck, 4 different suits, and they're represented on our board in the bottom left corner of your screen.
The chances that out of 5 players, 2 of them would have pocket kings. Let me just do some math real quick. Not very likely.
Yeah, it's 11%. Give or take. Give or take a little bit. Clayton Fletcher, David Tuckman here. Well, if there was any question whether Gaffey was going to call this 3-bet, he's not going to have the option.
No, you're going to see a big 4-bet here. And, you know, this is the kind of action we did not necessarily expect to see with the short stack. Of course, Matthews with just 1.8 million.
We raised
but
17.
The quality of these hands dictates this kind of action.
Yeah, and this is great for Matthews because there's a chance, and we've seen this, Connor Drining can speak of it, aces versus aces in the big 1-for-1 drop. There's a chance that somebody might get eliminated on this hand. And if that happens, as you mentioned, Matthews just pockets an extra $31,000.
Oh, he's loving this. He hopes everybody keeps raising and re-raising and that someone goes broke so that he can climb that pay ladder.
Back over to Caputo. And I don't think there's any real reason to mess around. You're just moving all in, right?
Yeah, I mean, what else are you supposed to do here?
All in.
Call.
There's the all-in. There's the call. Cards are on their back. Kings versus kings. And everybody gets a chuckle.
You did shuffle, right, Tyler?
Any more kings or?
Pot is $9.2
Aces
million.
is down to getting hearts now.
All right, here's some expert analysis.
Kings
Good
versus
chance of a
kings.
chop this hand, Tuck.
You're not the best in the business.
I wish you could just play it when it's like that. Just like agree with the other guy not to run the ball.
Oh, just chop. Yeah.
Isn't that up there?
Tyler gives no mercy on.
Yeah, that's that.
That's good. I'm deal with that.
And we are going to
glad you didn't
chop
have
this
ace
up,
Yeah.
which is, I feel like, the right way. I mean, at a final table, 5 players left. Nobody should get knocked out this way.
No, we don't want to see
Makes sense.
blood.
You
Kings
thought,
versus
like someone was
kings.
going to bust out. Yeah.
It's like, well, this is unexpected.
Let's take a look at the payouts brought to you by Jose Cuervo. There are no strangers. As we mentioned, all these players guaranteed $87,000. You get a nice little $31,000 pay jump for jumping up to 4th if you can survive that. First place, $371,000, well, nearly $372,000. 108 players were paid, and we are down to our final 5. Gabriel Andrade, 43 years old, professional poker player. He said, cash game, 95%, maybe 97%. Tournaments, 3%.
You got two
Wow,
cutoffs.
and here he is at a final table
Yeah, you want 2 cutoffs?
Everyone get
going for the bracelet.
Yeah, his hobbies are art,
The lights, they're hanging up.
gastronomy, music, and traveling.
Are you Ecuadorian?
No. What is gastronomy, Tuck?
I would assume it's something to do with the stomach and the stars. It's a hobby of his.
It's the same thing.
He likes to eat good food while looking at constellations, apparently.
Yeah, gastronomy, a fancy way to say you're a foodie.
Oh, okay, he's just a foodie.
1920 plus the big blind. So
Okay, that's cool.
2,080,000. 2,080,000.
Okay, thank you.
Matthews does get that through the King 10 through. He is now up to 11, 12-ish big blinds.
Yeah, and the players are immediately asking him for a chip count. How much do you have now?
Yeah, he's not that short. That's
No.
the thing.
All in?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
It's all in and call here, guys.
Yeah.
Jacks.
Wow. Yep. Caputo was going with it. He realized Matthews has to have a really big hand to call with, and that's exactly what Matthews has. Shoving with Queen 4 for about 12 big blinds. Do you like the shove?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that it's the correct play. It's just he happened to run into a big hand here. And even so, this is the worst case scenario. And he's still got about 28% with that one live overcard. He needs a queen.
6-5, 5, 2 clubs out there. No help so far for Caputo.
Most of the time with that shove pre-flop, Caputo is going to add 400K to his stack, which is significant because they only got 2.2 million to begin with.
Third club out there, which reduces Caputo's outs. He needs the Queen of Spades or Queen of Diamonds. You see those in the top left corner of your screen.
Sweats.
Yeah.
And it is. Oh,
very.
Picture card.
yeah. I think Matthews' heart skipped a beat there for a second.
I heard this squeezing.
I mean, I saw it was a red paint, and I was just like, no, come on.
And with that double up, Harvey Matthews and Brandon Caputo swap positions, and Matthews is now in 4th, and Caputo is now our short stack. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The World Series of Poker on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Guaranteed Rates. Mortgage rates are historically low. Save money at rate.com today. By Card Player, the Poker Authority, and by Super Draft. The future of DFS. No limits, more winning.
Welcome back to event number 13 at the 52nd Annual World Series of Poker, the $3,000 no-limit hold'em freeze-out. Michael Gaffey from Brussels, four-time bracelet winner. Listen, I have always had a lot of respect for Gaffey's game, and I've commentated on him in the past, but even I was surprised. I don't think anybody outside of Gaffey and maybe his family knew that he had won 4 bracelets.
No, it's very quiet 4. It's a quiet 4. But it's impressive.
I would have guessed 2.
Yeah. Set the line at 2.
I knew he won 2. I just didn't think he had won a 3rd one in the 4. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, and 4 in the era of giant fields is very impressive.
For sure. No doubt about that.
I like the style choices at this table. We've got those snazzy sunglasses we already mentioned. Of course, the nice shirt. And, you know, shout out to the 2 players who opted for the masks. Of course, our dealer has to wear a mask, but we've got 2 players with their masks on, and they didn't go with just the plain medical mask. I like the style.
Yeah, let's talk about the hand for a second as Matthews has flopped the stones. 7-4 clubs on this in the big blind. Unfortunately for him, Apte doesn't have much. Apte checked back the ace high. He's going to give him 1 street of value. He's going to call the 450,000 chip bet. But unless he hits an ace on the river, I would imagine the hand will be over. Board pairs. Unless Apte was going to get real fancy and turn the ace of hearts into a bluff on a heart. I don't know.
He doesn't strike me as the type. I'm actually surprised he called the 1 bet already, but he's definitely going to fold to this one.
This is a dream start. You know, you go to bed last night thinking, okay, I made the final table. This is awesome. I'm going to be on, I'm going to be on Poker Go. I'm going to be on CBS Sports. Awesome. I'm so excited, but I am the short stack. So hopefully I can just stick around for a little while. Maybe I can ladder up 1 or 2 spots.
I'm all in.
All in?
Whoa!
Whoa! He's going to think about it for a bit, but he has to call, Tuck.
I think he was setting up the ace of hearts play.
You really turn a set of jacks?
That's the story he's telling.
He's got a straight. He can't fold a straight in this situation.
Wow, Girish Apte.
I'll be honest, Tuck. I'm shocked. I didn't think he had it in him. I just said I didn't think he had it in him, and look how wrong I was.
Yeah, look at you, 3 hands in, and you're already profiling people.
I'm putting my foot in my mouth.
Oh, yeah, Apte would never make a play like
He
this.
doesn't strike me as the type.
Probably how he got here.
Yeah.
Because everybody gave him credit for plays like this and probably made monster laydowns.
Yeah.
But this is just too good a hand.
Yeah, call. Straight out, please.
There's the call.
Yeah.
Right.
Put that cane over to you.
He has to show it. Those are the rules.
Look at Gabriel.
Nice.
Gabriel
Nice.
says he looked at the cards. He looked at the board. He looked at the cards. He looked at the board. Just, okay.
He's like, didn't think you had it in you, Giddish.
Yeah.
And neither did I.
About 2 point something.
What's that?
No, I'm talking.
I had like
Yeah, he holds on like maybe he's ahead. Obviously, he knows he's not once he gets called.
Ace high is never good.
What a dream start here. So I was just talking about how, you go to bed last night. You're the short stack. You're thinking maybe I can spin it up a little bit, and all he has done is double up twice in a row. While this event reaches its conclusion, there is so much more going on at the World Series. We saw Jason Kuhn win his first bracelet, Ari Engel won another bracelet, and Phil Hellmuth is knocking on Sweet 16, and knocking quite loudly. Will we see Michael Gaffey on this graphic at the next event? Meanwhile, table dynamics becoming big at this final table.
When you're the short stack in the blinds and you pick up the aces,
What's the play here? Do you limp?
I mean, I probably just make a normal raise here.
Well, he's only got 11 big blinds.
Yeah,
though.
he's just got to go all in and hope that otherwise it looks suspicious, I think. He could also limp in and hope that Matthews pounces on it. But so far, early on here, we haven't seen a tendency on the part of Harvey Matthews to jump on somebody just for limping in or for playing slow. He doesn't seem that aggressive to me, so.
Like 1-8.
Yeah, right about 1-8.
To me, this would be suspicious if I were in the big blind, because what hands are you limping? Matthews doesn't take the bait. He just checks, and we're going to see a flop.
Yeah. See if Matthews gets any piece of it. He does. He gets a pair of deuces, and that might be enough for Caputo to get some value.
A little backdoor diamond action, too, don't forget. These are the kind of hands that a lot of players like to peel one off with. Let's see what Caputo does. He's got about 3 times the pot, a little more, in his stack.
160.
And you got to give Caputo credit. If he was just interested in surviving, he probably moves all in. But he's willing to gamble a little bit to get some value from his aces. Obviously, he's at risk 22% of the time. He will lose this hand.
Yeah.
But he does get some value.
22% is not an insignificant number. 22% of the time, Caputo is going to get very bad news. But still, you have to go for value. And there's one of those cards. Giving Mr. Matthews a little bit more equity here. He now has a pair and a flush draw.
Yeah, pot is 800,000. Caputo has 1.6 million. What is the bet here? And then I assume you're moving all in on the river.
Yeah, I'm just going to try to set it up. I just put in another small bet, maybe a 250. I really want to get called. I'm trying to double up with these aces.
Yeah,
if you
you're
beat
hoping
them,
your
you beat
opponent's
them.
got a, 6-3, 10-7.
Yeah. Something that can call. But if he bets too much, he's going to lose his fish on the line. And looks like 300.
I don't know if Matthews is going anywhere. Matthews has got a pair of deuces and a flush draw, and now he's got the chips to gamble with.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll be shocked if he folds. He may even shove. I'm sure he's thinking about it, but
That's what he does. He is all in, and Caputo got what he wanted. Caputo got action with his aces, but now he's got to sweat it. He's got to avoid a deuce, a 7, and a diamond. 30% of the time, Caputo will be out in 5th place right here.
Not crazy about this play by Matthews. I think that Caputo was pot committed, unless he was bluffing. And if he's bluffing, you definitely don't want to shove.
Yeah, more on that in a second. Pot is 3.9 million. Does Caputo get back in this right here? Oh!
He does not.
It's like you knew. You said the backdoor diamonds. And Matthews makes the flush.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Playing with you, Brendan.
Matthews cannot lose today. Harvey Matthews is an absolute... He is just running like the sun. He's on fire. And Brandon Caputo out in 5th place, takes home $87,288. Give him credit. It didn't work out the way he wanted to, and I know a lot of poker players out there might be thinking, that's why you don't play aces that way.
Yeah, never
He
slow
got
play
what
him.
he wanted.
Yeah, he sure
He got
did.
the action. Cracking aces? No problem. Harvey Matthews continues his tremendous start at this final table. Back inside the Amazon room, where we are now down to our final 4 players, as Harvey Matthews is off to a fantastic start. If Harvey Matthews were to continue his hot streak at this final table, we'd add to this list of first-time bracelet winners. Kuhn finally got his, as did Barnett, Klein, Ma, Cornell, and Perrone. Achievement unlocked for those 6. Inside the Amazon room, we are here at the Thunder Dome. I want to congratulate Ari Engel for winning bracelet number 2 yesterday. We had a very long, amazing broadcast. It was an absolute pleasure.
An epic heads up.
Yeah, Zach Milchman and Ari Engel played heads up for about 6 hours, approximately 200 hands. When it was all said and done, Ari Engel won bracelet number 2. It was, for Milchman, it was his second place at an Omaha 8 or better tournament. So I think that guy might be pretty good at that variant of poker. I also want to congratulate Jason Kuhn for winning the $25,000 Heads Up Championship. He defeated Gabor Szabo and won his first bracelet. It has been quite the year for Kuhn. Gets signed by GG, wins a bracelet, and last but certainly not least, he became a dad.
It's good to be Kuhn, obviously. After just a few moments after winning that first ever bracelet for Jason Kuhn, he made sort of a motion like he was throwing something off of his shoulder. And he says, I finally got that monkey off my back. Because every year they publish a list of all the best players who don't have a bracelet. And, of course, Jason Kuhn is on that list.
We're on that list, too, by the way. So I just want to put it out there. We are on that list. Pretty far down, but we are on that list.
Yeah, I might be in the top 1 million players to never get a bracelet.
No, listen, you have 2 top 100 finishes here in the main event.
My day will come, Tuck.
Yeah, I have no doubt. And you play enough. Backdoor spades get there. And Matthews, once again, just can't lose.
See if you can get some value from the pair of kings of Apte here.
They might be able to. I mean, the ace does hit Matthews' range being on the button, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
He wants to go for a small sizing here. He doesn't want to get too greedy. Put out like 600, I would say.
He's getting greedy. He's got about 1.5.
Yeah, I mean, Apte only has another 2.3 left. This would be most of his stack. I don't think he's going to call this with a king, but I've been wrong.
Call.
Now twice. I've been wrong twice now about what Apte's going to do.
Yeah, you've got this read on Apte, just spot on.
I'm just as wrong as I could be about that guy. Well, he pays him off, and relatively quickly, Tuck.
You said 1.5, right?
As we look at a tournament summary brought to you by Solve for Why, down to 4 players. I don't know what Harvey Matthews had for breakfast this morning, but he should eat that every morning.
Yeah, he is loving life.
Matthews came in today with 1.8 million chips. That's it. 1.8 million. He had 11.5 big blinds.
Has he lost a pot yet?
No, but not only has he not lost a pot, he basically just doubles up every pot.
I'm all in. I think that's a call, right? I haven't looked at my cards.
That's baiting.
Oh, this is just unlucky for Apte. Really unlucky. I mean, you figure with King 9, he said he hasn't
Look at 'em
looked. He's got a
together.
big hand, but he is dominated by Gathy's Ace 9.
Good for you.
Probably dominated.
Oh, wow.
It was going to be the same. Yeah, even if you had like
Oh, yeah,
a
yeah,
few more big
Oh,
ones.
yeah.
Well, my previous cards were 3 deuce.
Yeah, and Apte, if this is it for Apte, he certainly came to play. You know,
did.
he gave it his best shot, and unfortunately just kept walking into the nuts.
He fooled me twice.
That's it.
Oh, that's it. I mean, there's an ace on the flop.
I learned a lot.
Running
I learned
kings.
a lot.
So gracious in defeat here.
Running kings. Running diamonds don't even work, by the way.
No.
How brutal is
I
that?
learned a lot from
Did you hear what he said? I learned a lot from playing with you.
Oh, see, look at that. Just for extra measure, you get a full house. You're the most lucky and incredible player I've ever played against. Good luck to you. Yep, you too. You too. Take care.
That's amazing. You know what? I am now a Girish Apte fan.
I love the guy.
In defeat, how graceful he is, telling Gathy that he has learned and he's an amazing player.
Well, it's nice to hear your stories.
I think he's had the time of his life here, Tuck. This
I
is
love it.
amazing. I love that.
With that elimination, there are now just 3 players left as Michael Gathy attempts to win his 5th World Series of Poker gold bracelet.
The World Series of Poker on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by GPI and the Hendon Mob, the Live Poker Collective, by GG Poker, and by Poker Go. Get in the game at pokergo.com.
Welcome back to the Rio All Suite Hotel and Casino for Event 13, the 3K Freeze Out No Limit Hold'em. We are now 3-handed here in the Amazon room at our final table, which includes our chip leader, Harvey Matthews, 4-time bracelet winner, Michael Gathy, and 43-year-old poker pro, Gabriel Andrade. Matthews raises it up pre-flop to $525K with ace-5. Gathy makes the call with his king-8 of clubs. All 3 players now guaranteed $164,000, Jack-5, 4. Matthews hits a 5.
Of course he makes a pair, Tuck.
Gathi with backdoor clubs. A couple of overcards to the 5. I know you say that Gathi is not interested in ICM, but he's a professional poker player, so he is playing for money. I have to imagine that he still is aware of everybody's stacks and that he wants to maintain that second place.
No, that's a good point. It's not that he is going to just spout off these chips willy-nilly. I just think that he might not have the same level of caution that another player that is so concerned with the amount of the cash might have. And I think that might cause him to be a little bit more aggressive. As you see here, he's raising it with really nothing other than backdoors and an overcard.
Yeah, Jack 5-4. Why is he attacking this board, this texture?
There's a lot of cards that can come on the turn that would help him pick up equity and continue to barrel. That's one of them. Yeah, there's a club. So this is why we like to have that backdoor equity, because now it's okay. I still don't have a pair, but now I have a flush draw. And he could be going for a double check raise here, Tuck. You can't do it unless the other guy bets.
No. Check, check. And Gathi has missed. So last time he did the check raise on the flop, he hit a 7 on the river and bet for a little value. This time he misses. Pair of 5s for Matthew are best, but can Matthews get the showdown?
I don't think so. I think we're going to see a bluff here.
What's the sizing?
Pretty big. I would say probably 2 million, maybe 2.5. It's very hard for Matthews to call unless he has at least a queen. And how many queens does he have? Yeah, here come the chips.
Those brown chips are 100K each. And it looks like we're looking at 2.5. That is a hefty bet, 2.5 into 3.75.
Yeah, 2.5. I like this sizing. Also note that he blocks a couple of straights, king 9, ace king.
This sizing, does that indicate more of a polarized range?
He's representing a set, maybe a really strong jack. Matthew's in a tough spot. It's hard to bluff the chip leader sometimes because they feel, I just have so many chips I can afford to pay off.
This is a huge spot, because if Matthews does make this call, he will be overwhelming chip leader, and Gathi and Andrade will be a distant third place, essentially tied as the shorter stacks.
It would be a pretty heroic call if he can make it. Typically check raise flop, check turn.
There's
he does
the call.
make the call.
Harvey Matthews. Harvey Matthews, you are my spirit animal.
You picked the wrong guy.
Wow.
Now he's up to 20 million, Tuck. My goodness.
Yeah, he has well over half the chips in play. We only have 29 million chips in play. He has 20 of them. Andrade with 4.7, Gathi with 4.2. I will say your read of Gathi was spot on too. Not interested at all in laddering up. If he thinks it's a good play, he's going to make it.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, he's going for the bracelet. But like I say, it's hard. You know, one problem he had was that Harvey Matthews just has so many chips. He can afford to make a hero call and still be chip leader. And that proved to be a problem for Mr. Gathi. No?
That's respect.
That's respect. I got to hand it to you. That's quite a call you made, sir.
Welcome back to the 52nd Annual World Series of Poker, where there are 3 players left to battle it out for that coveted gold bracelet. The World Series of Poker is more than just the event you're watching tonight. 88 live bracelets on the line this year, plus 11 online. Big names have added to their bracelet totals, but newcomers have notched their first. The most notable so far? Jason Kuhn, high-stakes crusher who got the bracelet monkey off his back. Okay, let's be results-oriented for a second.
I wasn't
Fletch.
talking, I just thought
Sure.
it was a funny line.
By the way, I'm the only one in the world who calls
okay, so you're
Mr.
actually
Clayton Fletcher
thinking
Fletch,
Okay.
and I will always do it.
I thought you
True
were
story.
contesting.
I can't stop you no matter how hard I try.
I don't know how the nickname hasn't caught on. I really don't. It is among one of the greatest mysteries in our world. Anyway, let's move on from that. As Gathi raises it up to 400K and Matthews has picked up queens. That particular hand, oh wow, and Andrade picks up ace king.
Wow.
We could be heads up right here.
Three-handed, three big hands.
Oh my. And Gaffney will get out. He's going to get off the hook.
Yeah, he's going to get out of there with the king jack. It's
I
never
wondered what
good.
he was going to do with king jack when it came back over to him. There's the all-in. It's ace king versus queens.
Oh, man.
I need you.
And Gaffney loves it.
Classic race.
Yeah, of course. Can anybody beat Harvey Matthews today?
I don't think so.
Peel
It's just Matthews' day.
Peel an ace, buddy.
We call it a coin flip, but as you see, it's actually a 57%.
We're 32 hands in, and I think Matthews has won 27 of them. I mean, I've never seen anything like this.
I haven't got lucky yet, so.
What?
He's joking.
That's when you also.
I hope.
I hope so, right?
Hell of a call with that side.
Andrade, the cash game player from Ecuador, lives in Houston now. There's his white pants. Look at
Wow.
those.
Yeah, you weren't kidding about those white pants. He's a flashy guy. I like his style. There's the ace.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Gabriel.
Running diamonds or a queen is what Matthews needs.
You're gonna
That's
have to
it.
run around
It is
to this
Andrade's
one,
tournament
bud.
life on the line. Pot is $10.5 million.
Of course he's going to pick up a sweat.
Always a sweat.
He's Harvey Matthews.
No sweat. No sweat. There's no need
No
to.
diamond, no diamond.
No
You
need
just
to
gotta
sweat.
fade the queen. 2 outs.
Come on.
2 outs.
Yeah, two outer. Queen of spades or queen of hearts. The premature handshake. Don't celebrate too soon. Here's the river.
Not a queen.
Six
All
of
right.
spades. That is not a queen.
Yeah.
Again, you're not the best analyst in the world.
Well, the thing is, it's virtually over when you're 95%, but once out of 20 times, it does happen.
You put it in with ace high?
And especially when you shake your friend's hand first, it really happens.
So Andrade up to $10.5 million. Matthews back down to 14.6. And Gaffney a distant third place with 3.7. Let's take a look at the payouts brought to you by Jose Cuervo. There are no strangers. All three of these players guaranteed $164,000. Pay jumps are enormous, as you might expect. $3,000 tournament. First place, nearly $372,000. 108 places were paid in this
It
event.
was you?
Yeah, it was.
You're a genius. What a beautiful man.
He dealt that whole thing.
What a beautiful man. You also did the runners?
I didn't do that.
Okay. I just want to know what I'm dealing with.
Where's
You're a
Carol?
beautiful man from Dallas.
Where's
From
Carol?
Dallas.
Are these guys having fun yet?
No, they were. I told you. No,
To your point, it's poker. It's not
love
brain
it.
surgery. Let's have a good time.
You love to see it.
I really do. And I apologize. We're talking over them. I'm going to let them talk. It's rare at a tournament final table where you see people talking this much. It's great.
Yeah, it feels like a party. You know, and two guys brought their party shirts, too. I love it, you know?
All in.
Oh.
Look
Got an
good.
all-in and a
Oh,
call.
my goodness.
Feel
Yep.
like king right now so we don't have to sweat. Feel like king and let's go quickly to whatever we came for. King balls.
If you weren't sure who Andrade is rooting for, it's pretty clear. Gaffney all in with ace-8. Matthews with the ace-king. This pot is $6.6 million. And Gaffney came in as the chip leader, and he knows this can happen, but this has to be a disappointing day for him.
I'm about to boss your boy in a second, but just pull a king. Peel a king right now.
As we see Andrade making friends with the friends of Harvey Matthews. No help on that flop. We need an 8.
Well, we don't, but that guy right there does. Michael Gaffney needs an 8.
What, I'm his backer. You didn't know?
Oh, well done you.
Just kidding.
That is some, that'd be a good horse to have.
Yeah.
Michael Gaffney came in as the chip leader, and he is 2 cards away from being eliminated in third place. Needs some help, and he's now drawing dead. That's it. Michael Gaffney will be our third place finisher. He'll take home $164,000.
Thanks.
And
You're definitely
have fun.
a fantastic player, man.
You too.
I saw you
Have
play
fun,
a few-
heads up.
Yeah.
Michael Gaffney, just an amazing resume when you think about it. 33 cashes, 10 final tables, 4 bracelets, and today a third place finish. So we are now heads up for the bracelet between Harvey Matthews and Gabriel Andrade. Matthews on the heater of a lifetime right now. Welcome back to the 2021 World Series of Poker. Event number 13, the $3,000 no limit hold'em is down to 2. That's right. Our final 2 players, Gabriel Andrade, Harvey Matthews. I'm David Tuckman. My co-commentator today, partner in crime, is Clayton Fletcher, poker player, comedian extraordinaire. And Harvey Matthews from Mount Morris, Michigan, came in as the short stack with just about 11.5 big blinds. Told me, I'm not here to ladder up. I'm going to gamble. Didn't have to. Just kept making hands, and he is our chip leader. A 2-1 chip advantage over this man. Cash game player Gabriel Andrade has about $500,000 in live tournament winnings, but according to him, plays cash games 97% of the time. He is a poker pro.
I like the pacing here. It's always fun to comment on a table where the players don't take 3 minutes per decision. And I like that these guys are making their decisions quickly.
I am a fan of that. First final table for both of these players. Andrade flops a king on a king 8-8 board.
Check. Yeah.
And he checks it back. Now he's got a full house. And I think Matthews is going to be in a little bit of trouble here. I don't know. Given what we have seen, the dynamic that he's seen earlier on, I think Andrade is going to be able to get some value.
Yeah, well, he's got the guy who's drawing dead leading into him here with the double paired board. Ace high will often be good, but we know that Andrade does have that full house. He may actually get called.
As played, this is just a really tough spot if you're Matthews. I mean, Andrade checked back the flop. Is he doing that with an 8 or a king a ton of the time?
Another overbet here.
And he bets $1.3 million. I think he's going to get called.
Yeah, 1.3.
And I don't blame Matthews.
Yeah.
There's the call.
It's very hard to fold an ace in this situation. It's going to be at least a chop so often. And that huge chip lead of only a few moments ago, Tuck, is now virtually vanished.
Yep.
Man, what happened?
Payouts brought to you by Jose Cuervo. There are no strangers. Both these players guaranteed just a tad under $230,000, but they're effectively playing for $142,000. That is the difference between first and second. I don't know about you, but I have never played a heads-up match for $142,000, and of course, a World Series of Poker bracelet. As you can see, the blinds have just moved up. Levels are 60 minutes long. Got a couple of big hands here. Ace-9 versus 6s.
Heads up, these are strong hands.
Yeah, I mean, if the chips were a lot smaller, if the stacked ups were smaller, we could see it all in here.
For sure.
Instead, we just see an 8-7-7 flop. 6s are in the lead, but very vulnerable now, as Matthews can catch an 8, an ace, or a 9.
And does bet it.
400,000, quick call. Pot is 1.52 million. There's the ace. Check from Andrade. Over to Matthews. No slowdown by him. He's reaching for chips. Those brown ones are 100,000 each. The yellows are 1 million. And he looks like he bets 1.2 million. That's a big bet.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get action.
It's an intriguing heads-up match because it feels like you've got one player who's trying to keep the pot smaller. Wow. He does get action, though. And one person who's trying to make these pots much larger.
Yeah.
Andrade just not a believer. Pot is 3.92 million. What do you do now?
And well, that's the problem with making that call on the turn. It's
now what?
It's almost like if I call the turn, do I also have to call the river? You're right, though. Andrade, the cash game player, trying to keep pots smaller. Matthews going bigger. Generally, and especially when he has something. Now he's betting $5 million.
And this is interesting because normally with a bet this large, you would think, okay, this is trips or better, but he's doing this with just an ace. And after calling the turn bet, Andrade does find the fold button there. And Harvey Matthews has got the bar cheering because he is back to a 2-1 chip lead.
Everyone back in Michigan.
I think the whole state is cheering right now. Matthews making something that's very hard look very easy. Back with more Heads Up Play right after this.
The World Series of Poker on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Play WSOP. Play with real people in the official WSOP free poker app. By Cuervo. There are no strangers. And by Poker Go. Get in the game at pokergo.com.
Mr. Harvey Matthews from Michigan with a 7-1 chip lead at the moment.
Yep. He is ready to sing a song at his All Good Records studio.
They can't all be good.
It's the All Good Records. Another all-in. Andrade's going to call this.
Yeah. We're going to see a showdown here. All right.
Yeah, Andrade's going to be about a 60-40 favorite, 57-42 as you can see. Pot is $7.1 million. And it is Andrade's tournament life on the line. Matthews looking for bracelet number 1 right here.
Bring you right back in.
Andrade, last time he was all in, he went to his rail. He's going to do it again. So far, so good. Ace high is best.
He's got 6 outs. Any king, any 10 to take the lead.
Deuce of hearts. And Gabriel Andrade just 1 card away from a full double up, and he'll be back in this. Still have a lot of work to do, but it'll only be a 3-1 chip disadvantage if he can hold. It needs to fade the river. Matthews looking for that 6-outer. Here it is. Oh! The king of spades on the river.
And the match is over, Tuck. That's it.
Matthews spikes a king on the river and wins it.
You know, he showed up at our final table. The short stack went from worst to first. Harvey Matthews has just won his first World Series of Poker bracelet.
Yeah, what an amazing story. He comes in with just 11.5 big blinds, doubles up with the jacks, doubles up with 7-4 clubs, makes a couple of brilliant calls with ace-5, third pair, fourth pair, made a couple of great calls. I mean, you saw Michael Gaffey. You saw the respect on his face when the winner called him with just ace-5, pair of fives, and a huge bet and a huge spot. Pretty amazing. And what can we say about Andrade? I mean, this is 31 cashes in. I'm really surprised from the way he plays that this is his first final table.
Yeah, I think he's an excellent player. Fun guy to watch. He knows what he's doing.
There you have it. What a day. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, we came back with 5 players. Brandon Caputo, father of 2. He finished in 5th place, $87,000 in his pocket. Garish Apte, unfortunately for him, he ran basically into the nuts, and he was out in 4th place. Michael Gaffey looking for bracelet number 5. It was not to be. Gabriel Andrade, I would think that we'll see a lot more of him here at the World Series of Poker, but it was all said and done. Harvey Matthews comes in as the short stack, and he leaves with all the chips.
You know, he went from worst to first and takes down event number 13, the $3,000 no-limit hold'em, $372,000 in the bank.
Yeah,
nice
unbelievable.
Work.
There he is.
I love it.
He's got the bracelet, and he's
Big
got
smile.
the win. And every reason for him to be happy. Harvey Matthews, congratulations. $371,000 and your first bracelet. For Clayton Fletcher, I'm David Tuckman. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.